Have a beautiful day box card. Hi, I'm Joanne of Crafting Inspirations. I am a Stampin Up demonstrator here in Newfoundland, Canada. I love to connect, inspire, motivate new and exciting possibilities through stamping. Please feel free to hit the like button and to share my video with your friends and family on who you would think that they would enjoy this video as well. I seen this card done by another Stampin' Up demonstrator. I believe she was Dutch and she didn't have any instructions. So I created this one just through imagination, and I think it's quite beautiful. So I wanted to share it with you today. So let me just turn my camera around and we'll get started. We're going to start right from the beginning. I'm going to show you how to cut the paper and everything. So just give me a moment. So today's stamp set is the Very Versatiles. You've seen me use the stamp set before. The order number for this is 149275. Consists of 7 stamps. We're going to be using Divine and Have a Beautiful Day sentiment that's in this stamp set. I just love Very Versatiles. And today's color of choice is Pool Party. And it corresponds with the Designer Series paper that is in the Parisian Blossom Specialty Designer Series paper. Now this is a beautiful combination of paper, and I've used quite a bit already. So the paper that we're going to be using in this set is the flowers, and I've got these cut out so that you wouldn't have to watch me cut out flowers. And it's just wanted to show you that you can cut out some of the flat edges too as well for this project. And there is a script paper as well in this set, so we'll be using a piece of this. And this is what the card looks like. It fits inside of a A2 envelope. It lays flat, but when you open it up, let me just open it up towards the camera so it looks like this. So this is the card that we'll be replicating today. So I'm just going to move the flowers out of the way, and same thing with this paper. So we've got a piece of paper, Pool Party, that measures 8.5 by 11. I'm going to bring in Stampin' Up's trimmer, and we're going to cut this at 5.5. And this piece will make 2 cards. So I'm just going to put this one aside. And then we're going to cut this one down. I'm going to extend the leg. And then this piece now measures 5.5 by 8.5. I'm going to cut this down to 7. So we won't need that piece. We can always save it for a little bit for our sentiment. And now we're going to do some scoring. So I figured I would do this card and show you on the trimmer rather than have all the scores in it done. So what we're going to do next is we're going to score at 1/2 inch. So the 1/2 inch is down here. I like cutting from the top and scoring from the bottom on my trimmer, so that way then I don't accidentally cut my paper when I'm supposed to be scoring. Then we're going to go to 1.5. Then we're going to go 2.5. A lot of scoring in this one. Then 4.5. We're going to jump over 2 inches. And because there's no measurements down here now, I'm going to bring this up. So we're going to measure at 5.5, or score at 5.5. And 6.5. I'll put the measurements in my descriptions below. And then what we want to do then is we're going to take this where it's the 2 centimeter mark. We're going to bring our first score line to 7/8 of an inch. And we're going to bring down our trimmer blade, which is the dark one. We're going to line it up on 8 inches down here. And then we're scoring down, or we're cutting down to 11.5. So the marks on the, I'll bring in the leg. I don't know if you can see there on camera, but there is measurements going along down here. And on the blade, then there is lines. So you want to line that up with your 11.5 and your 8 and cut. So then we're going to bring the paper, the first score line of the 2-inch, then we're going to bring it to 1 1/8. And we're going to do the same thing. Bring our blade to the 8-inch mark and score down to 11.5. And then we're going to turn it, and there is measurements over on the right hand side here as well. So I'm going to bring our paper to the 1-inch. And what I'm going to do, there's markings on the back of the blade. I'm just making a little cut between those two lines. And then we're going to flip our page and do it all over again. So, and I'll give you the measurements there now. So that would be cut at 8. Your blade would go down at 8 7/8. And then we're going to finish it off at 9 1/8. So it's only 1/4 inch. So that is it for our cutting of this portion. So I'm just going to move the trimmer away. Now, before we do any scoring or varnishing of our score lines, I'm going to bring in the vine of the stamp, and I've got it dirty already because I just made this card. And I was so excited I wanted to show you. So we're just going to ink this up. And then we're going to randomly put the vines around the card. So we'll probably do 6 or 7 of these. And then I'm just going to flip it over. And it's just random. There's no particular spot that you put them or anything. I just like, and then you can come off your page as well. So this is what I'm going to do here now, is I'm going to come off the page. This is why the grid paper is so great. It doesn't dirty up your workspace when you stamp off your paper. So just fill it in as much or as little as you like. I'm going to do one more. There we go. Now I'm just going to close up the ink pad. And now we're going to take out this piece that we just cut in the middle. So I'm just taking this away. And this is where the paper slides up through. So now we're just varnishing. So we're just going to fold inwards. Oh, kind of got off kilter there a little bit. So then we're going to bring in and then we're just going to bring this in towards the other side. And you can see how the box is forming. Alright, so now before we go on, I'm going to cut our piece of paper for the inside. And the measurements for that is 3.5 by 4 1/4. So I'm going to do 4 1/4 this way. And then we're going to take it down to 3.5. So that should fit in there nicely. like so. So there's not much of a space in between here. So then we're going to bring in our paper, which I already got one cut. And this one is cut at 3 1/4. I'm going to take that down to about 3 1/8. Just so that we give a little border, and 4 inches. So we're just going to use Stampin' Up Snail. And we're going to snail this down onto our piece of Pool Party. Oh, I cut that too thinly, so let me just get that again. So this piece is 3 1/2. That one is 3 1/2. So we're going to need to cut our paper down at 3 1/4. So I did have it cut right. And by 4. So let me start all over again. So here we go. That looks a little bit better. So leaves a nice little border around. You don't have to worry about this down here if it's a little bit shorter, because it's going to be hidden away in the box. So that is our layer that pops up inside the box. And now we're going to make the box. So what I like to do is take one section and put tearaway tape across that 1/2 inch of a score line. And then we want to burnish that down so that it's sticking to the paper. Then what we want to do, make sure that the paper is going the right way. So we want it to go inwards like this. We're going to bring it in. I'm going to take your pick tool and tear off the backing of the paper. There we go. And then we're just going to line this up. I like using the grid paper. And we've got 4 squares, and that's 1 inch. So we're going to make sure that our paper lies on the 1 inch, the 4 squares. And you don't want to bring it all the way down. Just a little bit like that. So you got about 1/4 of an inch, or sorry, 1/8 of an inch showing. And then I just like using a little bit more tearaway tape and putting on the back of that paper that we just stuck down. And I'm just going to burnish that again. And then we're just going to slide that through and bring this one over. And we're bringing it up to the score line. And make sure she's flush on both sides. And then we're just going to burnish it. And then we're going to flip it the other way. And then burnish it this way. So there's our box. Standing up. I don't know if you can see it, but that's the way that it looks inside. So that when it goes flat, it kind of goes down inside the box a little bit. And it will fit inside an envelope. Oh, I lied. This is supposed to be 3 1/2 by 3 1/2. I'm sorry. So this is supposed to be a little bit shorter. So what we can do, I'm going to leave it like it is there now. So a correction to this page size here, it's 3 1/2 by 3 1/2 to fit inside an envelope. So it'll be a square piece of paper. It's going to be a little bit shorter, but we'll just continue on with decorating this box. So like I said, I've got some of these flowers from the Parisian floral blossoms paper, and we're just going to put these onto our card. Now what I did ahead of time, I embossed our sentiment, "Have a beautiful day," and we're going to use the Label Me Fancy punch, and we're going to punch this out. So I didn't think you want to hear the embossing gun going. It can be quite loud. So then we've got our foil sheets. This is the silver. So then we're going to cut one of these out with the punch as well. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this in half, and I'm going to put Snail on the back, and then we're just going to line this up a little bit so that it's hanging over our sentiment, because there's silver in the writing on the card, so I thought that would be nice if there was silver in the sentiment. So I'm just going to put that aside. Now we're going to dress it up with these flowers. So I'm going to pop these up with dimensionals. So I'm going to put 2 on here. And then that's going to be for our letter at the top. And then I'm just putting dimensionals around. So let's take the backing off the dimensionals. Now, if you're living in Canada and you're watching this and you like what you see, you can order the products through me, through joannejohnson.stampinup.net. Once again, that's Joanne, JOANN, JOHNSON.stampinup.net. Or if you have any questions or anything like that, you can certainly reach out to me through there as well. And where this is a flat piece, I'm going to lay it right on the edge here. And then we've got another flat piece. I'm going to put a bit of dimensional. And every one of these that you make is going to be a little bit different because of how you cut your flowers and that out. So I'm just going to put a bit of snail because this one's going in behind where I had, and I'm going to put that one right on the edge. There we go. And then we're just going to pop up our sentiment. I'm using 3 today, and 2 is normally enough. They don't want to come off. So I'm just laying this flat, and I'm coming up a little bit higher because we don't want, once this goes down, you don't want that going underneath your box, let's say. So then we're just going to put a couple of more flowers on here, and we're almost done. And we've got a new catalog coming out now in June. And if you would like any catalogs from me, you can certainly get in touch with me, and I'll send you out a catalog. And you can go to Stampin Up Canada and look at all the products that's retiring if you want some retired products, if you're just new. And there is also paper pumpkin that you can subscribe to each month and have it delivered right straight to your door. So now I'm going to put some rhinestones on here just to dress it up a little bit more. And this is all Stampin' Up products that I'm using. So I'm just going to get some glue. Not glue, but it's sticky substance. And I'm going to put some rhinestones in the middle of the flower, so it's just picking up the rhinestones and laying it down where I want them to go. And I'm going to put one rhinestone there. Oh. This one doesn't want to come up. And I'm just going to put one there. And let's put one over here. So that was just a quick tutorial on how to do this little pop-up box card. And there's certainly a spot back here that you can write a little sentiment or a note to the individual who you want to give it to. But I thought this would be just nice to give it to someone in your office even, so that they can display it on their desks. So there's today's card. So I'm just going to turn the camera back around. Just give me a moment. So isn't that a quick and easy card to do? Join me again next Sunday for my latest project. You can reach me through joannejohnson.stampinup.net or through craftinginspirations@outlook.com. If you have any questions or anything about my demonstration today, feel free to reach out to me. And like I said, remember to hit the like button and to share. Thank you and have a good day. Goodbye.